everybody, this is Callie with Jemminz. Welcome back to my channel, and today we are going to do a really, not a fun project, but kind of a experimental project. When I was a kid, I was totally into science, and I'm one of those science nerds. Yeah, I'm one of those. Even though I, really didn't go into science myself, I love working with it, and it's just a fun thing for me. So today we are formulating a new soap formula. And I've already been on soapcalc.com. I'll get it out yet, I swear. Soapcalc.com is where you should formulate all of your soaps. My little guy, my 6-month-old puppy Doxy, is running around. He decided to get super active, so you're going to hear him in the background. I'm sorry. He's playing with something, I don't know what. But it won't hurt him, I know it won't. So anyway, back to what I was talking about. So we are formulating a brand new soap. So the reason for that is I was at a farmer's market this weekend, or this past weekend actually, and we had probably 400 customers come through the venue, and it's huge. And usually during that time I could make, $300-400. I made roughly less than 100. I was so disappointed in this that I was really upset. And I know the economy is really bad and people aren't spending money right now, especially on extra stuff that they don't really buy. And they're going to really conserve their money. And as we all are right now, including my husband and I, we're really cutting back on our spending more than we ever have in our entire life. So, in fact, we're going fishing this afternoon to catch our dinner for tomorrow night because that's what we wanted to do. So we're going to go have some fun. But anyway, back to what I was saying. So I over the past several, I'd say, year, I'm going to go back a year here, sales have been really slow with my soaps, and I couldn't really figure out what was going on. And so this time, after a couple of weeks prior to this last one, I had no sales, none, but one, and it was a vendor. And she just loved one of the bath bombs that I made, and it didn't have any hemp seed oil, so she went and bought that. So my old formula has always had the hemp seed oil, and I thought, okay, what is really going on? Is hemp seed oil here in Washington State? Now, we're approved cannabis hemp state, so you would think that because our people in our state approved the mandate to have the cannabis approved. We have a lot of cancer patients up here, so CBD is really, really popular with our cancer patients. We have a Johns Hopkins Hospital is up here, and there's a lot of research on cancer, and so they wanted to get it approved. They wanted the cannabis to get approved so they can work on helping the cancer patients get through what they're going through with their chemotherapy and other therapies. So anyway, that's the short end of a very long, drawn-out battle here in Washington State. So in Washington State, hemp is very much approved. So you would think that hemp seed oil would be something that would be very much approved. Well, I was watching my customers or watching people walking around, and I have to tell you, the experiment I did was very eye-opening. I forgot to put my sign out in the morning. I didn't mean to not put it out. I just literally, in me trying to get things set up that morning, I was a little on the rush side. I forgot to put my sign out, which says Jemminz Hemp Seed Oil Soap. I left it off, and I started having the customers come by, and they were looking at my soaps, and they were like, oh yeah, we really like them, and I had a few sales in the morning. Well, I finally discovered that I forgot to put that out, so I went and put it out, put the sign out, and I started noticing that people were walking away from my booth. And I'm like, they look at the booth and they start to walk in, and then they look down at my sign and they turn around and walk away. Oh, hemp seed oil products, we don't want that. I thought, that is really odd. I've never had that happen before, but I wasn't watching for it either. And so I really tuned in and listened to my customers, and they said, hey, we want a certain scent. So they wanted aniseed, and they wanted lemongrass, which is already out. I have a lemongrass sage, but somebody wanted a plain lemongrass, and I've had several requests for it, but I didn't have the lemongrass itself. I had lemongrass sage, so I went and got the lemongrass so I can make those soaps, and then a couple other soaps and bath bombs and things that people wanted in their store. So I really tuned into my customers this time, and I was like, okay, what is really going on? Well, one, they wanted, I had a lot of people asking for goat's milk. They couldn't find good goat's milk soap, so I am bringing in goat's milk. My second request was Castile soap, which I have already have a video out for it. If not, it's coming out. I know I've already filmed it. I'm just not sure if I put it up or not. So the Castile soap will be coming out sometime in the next couple of weeks, because it takes about 6 weeks for it to sit and harden. And I just checked it this morning. It is not hard. I can't pull it out of the bins yet. So it's going to be another week or so before I can do that. That's okay. But the Castile soap is coming out. And then they wanted the coconut oil soap. So I made more coconut oil soap because I'm selling out at each of my vendor shows. So that is still coming out. But I thought, okay, if the hemp seed oil isn't selling, what do I need to do? The formulas, I'm not getting repeat customers is my problem. Are they just not coming back because they don't like the soap, or are they not coming back because of the hemp seed? I'm suspecting it's a hemp seed after everything that I've seen. It's just not being accepted here. And I live in Roy, Washington, which is 30 minutes from Olympia, Washington. And I sell quite a bit down in, well, I try to sell my stuff down in Olympia a lot of times, because that's where the cannabis is always, or the hemp seed oil has always been very welcome. And it's only been in the past year that they've turned their nose up at it. So I'm not quite sure what's going on. Now, I know it's not necessarily the function of the soap, because I do use soapcalc.com, and I use a lot of moisturizing soaps, and I'm just not sure where things are going with that. So I thought, okay, so let's bring out a few soaps in the non-hemp seed soaps and see if that is my problem. So what I'm going to do today is we're going to test the formula that I've starting to create. It's just a base formula. It's not the final formula. And we're going to go from there. So I'm going to take the hemp seed oil out of this formula. I'm going to add in sustainable palm oil. Now, palm oil for quite a while was overused. It was not being treated properly. And so it was decimating the palm crops. And so a lot of farmers have decided to create a sustainable product for soap makers and hand lotion facial cosmetics use. And so I am using the verified, just so you guys know, verified sustainable palm oil. So today we're just going to do a basic recipe of coconut oil and sustainable palm, because I know for a fact that I want those two items in my soap. The second thing in that is that somebody told me, and this was really good advice, and in fact, if you haven't seen his videos, and I've mentioned him before, Uncle John, here on YouTube, go watch his videos. I absolutely love that man and his videos. He's down to earth, tells it like it is, and no BS knowledge on soap. He's been doing this for many years. He knows his stuff, and I absolutely love him. And he came up, I can't remember the name of the video that I watched, but he mentions it in a couple of them. He said, when you're making soap, keep it simple. Keep it cleansing. That's what soap is. It's cleansing. It's not to moisturize your skin. It's not to, soap is used for cleansing. So he said to keep the butters and those luxurious oils and butters out of your soaps, and just make a really good clean soap. And that way, people are more apt to do that. So that is my goal. I love moisture. I love shea butter. I love mango butter, and I love cocoa butter in my soaps. However, he's got a really strong point here. Perhaps it's the fact that the soaps that I'm making aren't cleansing enough. And so people aren't coming back because they're not doing the job that they're supposed to do. So I'm going to a brand new heavily cleansing, well, not heavily cleansing, but more cleansing soap. So the butters will not be in there. I'm not going to put the shea butter in there. I'm not going to put in the mango butter. I'm not putting in the cocoa butter. Those are going to be going to some lotions, and some lip balms are coming out soon. I'm hoping to film a video on how I make those here in the next couple weeks, and a few other things, because I've had a lot of requests I did get a lot of requests over the weekend. Do you have this, this, and this? And I was like, yes, they're coming. My shampoo bars and conditioner bars are coming out. I've got some of the ingredients for that coming here. It'll be here in the next few days, actually. So once I get those in, I will start making those, and I'll show you how I make those. And so there you have it. So will I continue to sell the hemp seed oil? Yes, I'm going to make a specific bar that will have the hemp seed oil in it. It will have, it will be a signature bar, and I'll leave it at that. I will reformulate that bar for the hemp seed oil specifically, because I do have some customers that absolutely love it, and I want to continue to honor them. But I also understand that, you know, the high little bits. What, buddy? Oh, really? Okay. What do you need? Well, you have food in the other room. Oh. Well, you can't have the dog food. I'm sorry. I know. Do you want to go back outside? Nope. Okay. Yeah? I love you. He loves me too. I have a little black cat. Let's see if I can turn the camera down. Who I constantly have a conversation with. Hey, Little Bits. He walks away from the camera. Little Bits. He's a really beautiful little kitten or cat. He just turned a year old, and they're outdoor cats. There's some of our mousers here on the farm, and he'll sit. I can sit here and have a full conversation with him. It's so funny. I mean, I could ask him anything and he'll answer me. It's so cute. He's a really good mouser. So anyway, back to what I was talking about. So anyway, in all of this, I will have the hemp seed oil bar. I'll have a couple scents, but I'm not going to have the full line like I have already. Those bars will be sold out on my shop. I will probably put them on sale here towards the holidays and blow them out of here. And then next year, I will go into full production with the new soap. So over the next several months, I will try several different bars, and I'll try and film as much as I can. I am going to be really super busy this summer. So just to let you guys know, I'm not going to be putting a whole lot of stuff out except for the 52-week balm, but bath bombs. But I will try and do some more as I'm going along. And I will try and show you as I'm formulating this new soap what we're going to do. No, Little Bits. I know. Go get your other food. I know. You got to go get the other food. He's mad. They've been eating the dog food lately, and I don't know why, but I have to limit that because the dog food's not good for him. So they have cat food available. Go get your cat food. Yeah, you know, you can't have the dog food. I know. I love you. He's just going to lay here on the floor. He's going to continue to talk. So just ignore it. So anyway, so that's what's going on. So my formula is going to be for today, the palm oil and the coconut oil. We're going to start with the base. I'm going to see how that reacts. Once I know that that's going to react really well and do exactly what I want, then I will build from there. I always add kale and clay into my soap, so I am going to continue to put that in there. And then my fragrances, I'm going to use a new fragrance that I got, and I'll premiere that here in just a little bit. And then we're going to add a little bit of color to it, and we're going to see how this soap all ends up. And maybe I'll throw some lavender on top of it just for fun, because that's the way it is. All right, so my soap recipe is as follows. We have, let me turn the camera down so you guys can see what we're doing. Turn this back on so you know. And if you want to follow this recipe and use it as yourself, you're welcome to. Probably in the future, I won't add in what my formula is going to be because I like to keep that proprietary. And proprietary means to myself or to my company. But you're welcome to copy this base down. It's a good soap recipe. But in my area here in Washington State, I'm just not quite sure how it's going to work. So we're going to try and do that. All right, so water, lime. Water, distilled water. Gizmo, shh, buddy. Knew this was going to happen. I may have to stop filming for a little while. All right, so water is going to be 22 grams. So let's measure out our 22 grams. I'll go this way so you guys can see what's going on, because you can see my thing here. So 22 grams. Okay, it's going to go 23. Let me grab a spoon here and we'll take that out. On this one, I do want to be precise. Usually in the past, I haven't really wanted to, but today I'm going to because I really want to try and nail this recipe down. Because I really need to find out what the functionality of it is. Okay, so there's the 22 grams. Now it's going to drop down. Sometimes this scale gets a little finicky. Oh, see, now it bounced back up. Let me see if I move it around the scale, if that will help. It's at 22 grams. I'm going to leave it. It keeps switching on me, so I'm not going to worry about it. Okay, and then we're going to go 11 grams of water. Now, like I said, this is for one little bar. I'll show you the bars here in a second, and I'll show you what we're doing here. So we're going to do it. Oh, well, that would be 33. So we'll just go to 33. Here, it's at 23. Let's go to 33. All right, I think we're good there. All right, so 33. If it goes a little under, it's okay. It's not a big deal. All right, so let's get this mixed up. All right, we're going to let this sit for a second because I need to have it, because we want this to go to clear when we do this. That means that it's all completely mixed in and it's all good to go. So we're going to mix this up to clear. And this one's going to be just a hot process. Normally I would heat my coconut oil and my palm oil and I would cool it down. But this time I'm going to do it this way because it's one single bar and it really doesn't matter either way. It's still going to work the same. So we're just going to do that. I should probably put that away. Alright, so put that in there so it doesn't get used. Alright, so this is the soap bar that I'm using. You can get these on Amazon or anywhere else. I'm also going to have them on my personal website, so you can get them on my website. But they actually come in 6. I cut these down for my testers, and they're just in 2s, because sometimes I'll do 2 bars, and this time I'm only going to do the 1, so we're just going to do 1 bar today. So that's what we're going to be using. Scent-wise, I'm going to be doing... if you want to get this on Mad Micah's, Mad Micah's has the Guilty Grape. It's a really pretty purple. So we're going to put this coloring into the soap. There you go. Isn't that gorgeous? And then I'm going to add in definitely some lavender flowers just because I love lavender. I could leave it out. It doesn't matter. But I'm also going to be doing a new scent. This is Brambleberry. It's their signature scent. And honestly, I have been seeing so much of this on their website, and I thought, oh, I so want to try this. So a while back, I got a little sample of it, and I went, okay, this is going to sell really well in my shop. So we are going to be doing this Brambleberry scent. It's a mixture of berries and some, I want to say it's got sage in it. It's got an herb of some sort to it. But, oh my gosh, this is going to be, when I add this in, my customers are going to go nuts, and this is going to be my #1 seller. So we're going to add that in too at some point. And then I normally would add silk into my soaps, but for today's recipe, I'm not going to do that. Only because it's going to take me a little bit to cut that silk up and get it going. Okay, so let's measure out, because that's almost to 0. Let's measure out this palm oil. And the coconut oil. Okay, so the coconut oil, I need 39 grams. So, which isn't a lot. A little more. Ooh, that's way too much. Like I said, we're not doing a whole lot here. We're doing just a little bit. $39 grams. Okay, so there's 39 grams of that. And now, I got this from Brambleberry. This is my big bucket of palm oil. And it did get, it's not, I have to mix it because it wants to separate itself. So we did that. So now let's tear my scale out, and we're going to add 32 grams of this. So we're going to be really careful pouring this out. I've never worked with this kind of a bag before, and I really honestly don't like it. But we're going to see how this goes. Okay, so let's put See, and this is the reason why. Okay, so let's go 32. Because I don't like waste. Okay, it went a little over. It went to 36. There's just nothing I can do about it. I'm going to see if I can put this into a different bag or box or something, because I don't like this bag. Oh, really hard to work with. I'm used to working with buckets, so a little bit over on the, that won't hurt anything. You'll be all right. It's at 34, and we're supposed to have 32, so it's not that big of a deal. A little over isn't going to hurt. It'll still give me the effects that I really want in here. All right, so that went to 0. Okay. Mix this up really quick. This will help really solidify this up. Okay, so this went to clear, and that's what you want. There's a little bit in there, but it's not a big deal. I'm going to pour that in. Get all that goodness out of there. We're going to mix this up really, really well. I don't know if you can see that or not, but that melted almost immediately, so that was good. We're going to make this to a smooth batter. So we're just going to let this go. What I found with working with coconut oil is you actually have, or with this lye, is you have a lot of time to work with it, so it doesn't seize up really quick. I found that when your soap starts to saponify or harden up is when the fragrance oil goes in, and that's where you have to watch it. So I'm just going to sit here and stir this for a few minutes, get this all nice and smooth, and then I can add everything else in. When you're making small batches like this, it really is convenient to just pour your lye in here and let it just melt. It can take a minute or two, so don't rush it. Just let it do its thing. And quite oftentimes when I'm doing my single bars or my small bars or my shape bars, which I'll do a video on here later on, I quite often will do this because it's much better. The house finally quieted down. I think the animals went in the other room. My cats have been fighting this morning. I'm not quite sure why. I had to separate them twice already. Life on the farm. We have so much fun here. I'm going to bring this in so you guys can see this. I realized I was quite a ways back. It's still melting. Is it getting hot? It's almost like it cooled itself down. It's pretty well melted. I'm not going to worry about it. I don't have my temperature thing to test it, but I think we'll be okay. Okay, so I'm going to put that in there. We're going to get this zhuzhed up, and then we'll add some other stuff to it, okay? Here we go. It's going to make a little bit of noise. Oh, wow. That did really good. I'm happy with that. Look at that nice, smooth soap. Boy, that happened fast. So let me pull it up, make sure it's, yeah, it's good. All right, so now we're gonna add a little bit of fragrance oil to this. So far this is working out really good. A little splash there. The batter's really nice and smooth. I'll mix it up here again in a second when I add the oil. All right, so where's my scale at? Bring my scale back. We're gonna do 2, oh, I can't. All right, I don't have, this one's going to go just a little bit over because it's 5 grams. 3 grams. I know it stops at 3 grams, so let me just do a little bit, pour in there. Okay, there we go. I know it's at 3 grams, but I love the scent, and I'm going to go a little bit on the heavier side with my oil, and that's okay. You can do that too, just be aware. Now, I did check the information on this. It doesn't have any vanilla in it, and if it does, it's not a big deal on this bar. It's a bar for myself. Yeah, it doesn't say it has vanilla in it. So we're just going to pour this in. Get all that goodness out. But as I was checking, it doesn't seize up. So this makes a really good smooth batter. So we're going to go ahead and put in a little bit of other stuff. I'm gonna hook this back up here. We're gonna put that back in there. So we're just gonna, and all I'm doing here is just making sure that everything's really incorporated. Oh my gosh, that soap bar smells amazing. Okay, so let's put a little bit of, since I have my mixer and I have the availability, to get a little bit, I want a light lavender on this one. Just a little bit on this. Oh, that's perfect. Okay, so we're good there. I didn't add the kaolin clay in yet. We'll get there. I have to pull this up in order to do that. So let's add a little bit of the kaolin clay, because I do love kaolin clay in my soaps. Just a little bit, and then we'll zhuzh this around again. So far, the soap is behaving exactly as I had hoped. Alright, so let me scrape this off, and then we will pour this into the mold because it is ready to go. Okay, put that in there. Look at that pretty soap. Get this all mixed in. Oh, it smells so good. Okay, so this soap is working out really well. Look how nice and smooth it is. It's going to go in here really well. And because I love lavender, I am going to add some lavender buds to the base. Lavender is really good in soap, so if you want to add it, go for it. I absolutely love doing it. Should I do a little bit of a mica top? Let's do a little bit of a mica top. You can add mica to the top. I'm just kind of playing around here, having some fun. Hope this will give you some inspiration. The other thing you can do is add some other colors to mix it up. But this is a berry. This is a full berry. So I'm going to just keep it as a berry today. All right, let's put the kaolin clay away because we have that in there. Why? And before I put this in my mold, I always check to make sure I have everything. And I do. So we're good to go there. So let's go ahead and just pour this right in. Look at that beautiful soap. Oh, I cannot wait for this to be done this tomorrow. It does take 24 hours for the soap to harden. Coconut, if you have a heavy coconut, it can take less time. And that's the other thing I'll have to be aware of is in creating this new soap, am I going to have a bar that I can actually cut in my wire cutter? Because some of them, I have cut bars with that wire cutter that are really hard, and I've broken my, in fact, I'm not using it right now because I have to get my wires fixed because I can't use it right now. Okay, so we're going to tap this down in. Tap, tap, tap. Make sure it gets in all the crannies. There we go. All right, so there is our bar of soap. I'm super excited to bring this to you tomorrow or later on this afternoon when it's done hardening. I think I'll put some lavender on this side too, just to kind of zhuzh it up a little bit. There you go. So we'll have it on both sides there. Boy, I apologize. The cats are just fighting in here. I'm not quite sure what's going on. And then you get little Gizmo in there, and it gets crazy in here. All right, so we'll tap that down just a little bit. All right, so there is our berry soap. Another lavender fell off, so I'm just going to put that in there. There is our our brambleberry scented basic cleansing soap. I'll have to come up with a new name for it at some point. I will probably use silk. I will use silk in my soaps. That I've decided is one thing that I am definitely going to add. So we're going to have that in there. If you want to write down this recipe, let me give it to you one more time. It's very easy. It's 22 grams of water, 11 grams of lye, 2 grams of fragrance oil or essential oil. Because the oils are low in this, you could use essential oil mix if you wanted to. Whatever scent, it doesn't matter. Your coconut oil, which is 76%, is 39 grams. And the palm oil is 32 grams. This makes 170 gram bar. So there you have it. All right, well, that was really a lot of fun. I'm going to make some more. I'm going to see how this performs, and I'll show you and even demo it and see how this first new soap formula works. Thanks, everybody, for joining me. I truly appreciate you all. Have a great day. Bye. All right, everybody. So it is a few hours after I made this soap, and our tester soap so far is turning out really, really good. I still have to wait the full 24 hours before I actually use it. So we're going to let this soap sit the rest of the way, and we will, I'll show you a demo of it tomorrow. It's looking really good. I'm super happy with it. What do you think?
Good morning, everybody. This is Callie with Jemminz, and this morning we are going to check out our soap that we took out. I actually pulled this soap out about 2 hours early, well, a couple hours ago, and it turned out really fantastic. This is what it looks like. This is what it looks like. Cute little soap, nice little front, and then on the back, if you remember, we put in the mica, so that's what it ended up turning out looking like. It wasn't too bad, but I actually love this. But I want to test to see if it actually works, because you can make a soap recipe, but if it doesn't soap up really well or have the foam and fat lather, it's not a soap. So let's see if we can do, let me see what we can do here. All right, I'm going to turn my camera over here. You see that right there? Trying to get the right angle here. There we go. And let's turn the hot water on. To bleach my seat again. All right, so let's use this. Yes, I'm going to take all the flowers off. That's okay. Ooh, and right away. Okay, so I definitely don't like the ooh, it smells fantastic in here, actually. All right, so let's see what we get here. As you can see, we're getting a really, look at that lather. It's not too bad, actually. I found that when you use these types of square molds, it takes a little bit for your soap to really get going. But as you can see, it has a really good foam and lather and bubble. Look at that. And this soap feels so good on my hands. So this is definitely a winning recipe, for sure. Oh, get a little scrub action in there. It seems like the more I work it, the more the soap actually works. So awesome. All right, so I'm going to rinse this off and let it dry out. I have a little bucket behind here where all my soaps go. I'll just set it on the counter there, and we'll rinse my hands off real quick. And they actually feel really good. I'm feeling a little bit, not sticky, actually really clean. I like the feel of the soap. That turned out really good. Oops, I don't think I got my hands all the way rinsed. There we go. All right, so we have a winner on the soap. That soap actually did work, and that's a good thing. So now I have the base working soap. So on my next video, we're gonna add one more ingredient, and then I'll do one more video and I'll add another ingredient. So we're gonna just totally build and test as we go along here. So yes, I'm going to have a whole bunch of these little soaps here. I probably won't feel or test them. I'm using soapcalc.com, and I know any soaps that I've ever used off of that website have worked out perfectly. So I'm not going to continue to test the soaps. It's clear with my base soap that it actually does work. So now it's just a matter of, okay, what ingredients or additives do I want to add into my soap? And that's just the question that I'll have to work out for myself. So all right, soap test 1 done. It works. We're happy with it. We're good to go. All right. Thanks everybody for joining me. Don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button. Don't forget to hit the notification button. Don't forget to share my videos. And don't forget to say hello if you really want to. Thanks everybody. Bye.